Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Higher Minds podcast. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. I've been wanting to do podcasts like for so long. I'm obsessed with podcasts. I watch Joe Rogan's podcast all the time. Mile Higher podcast. Like I'm just obsessed. Like I really love this kind of content, and I want to pursue something in making this kind of content for myself, like for my own happiness. Um, which leads me to speak about why I'm gonna do this over makeup. I just feel like everybody is put on this planet for a reason, and I feel like mine is to make people happy. And I'll elaborate on that. like I just feel like I don't know, I was just meant to make people happy and help them find their true happiness. So I'm gonna kind of talk about myself on this podcast just because I feel like you need to know a little bit about me. I don't know. I just also didn't really know what to talk about, but yeah, so I'm a very spiritual person. My mom raised me to be very spiritual. We've always done really weird spiritual things like cleansing the house, cleansing yourself and your aura, going to other people's houses to cleanse their house, and yeah, just weird shit. Sorry. I left the window open because I wanted to feel zen. Now someone's just, I don't know, they just started their car, so I'm just gonna wait until they are done. But yeah, so yeah, I grew up really spiritual. I always knew that crystals had life to them, and that they had energy and they could protect you, and just weird things that I don't know. Sometimes I don't. Okay, so I'm a very open person. I don't care if anybody finds out about any of the weird shit that me and my family do. But whenever I do talk about it, I always get really judgmental people just being oh, you're weird, what the fuck, what's that, like you're weird for thinking that we are energy and blah blah blah. It's just, I don't know if anyone can relate, because I don't know, not a lot of people do this kind of thing, or are used to this kind of thing. It's fairly new, I think, the new age, the new era and stuff. But yeah, I've always been very spiritual, and I will get into that deeper in other, god fucking hell, there's wasps in my balcony, and they're creating a nest. So my sliding door opens from the left to the right, and right at the left corner of my balcony there's 5 fucking wasps trying to build a nest. It's really scary. I have a weird phobia of wasps. One time a fucking wasp came into my house, and I literally I fucking started crying, and I called my boyfriend while he was at work, and I was there's a fucking wasp in my house. It was so fucking funny. I literally locked myself in my brother's room, and I just started fucking crying on the phone, screaming. He's what do you want me to do? Do you want me to get off? But then okay, so then how I solved that problem, me being a very spiritual person, I texted my family because we were all in a group chat, and I'm what do I do? And my brother was talk to the wasp. And this is weird, right? This is one of the weird things that me and my family do, that we talk about or whatever. And yeah, I literally I believe I telepathically communicated with the wasp. I literally was really do not want you to be in my house. Can you please leave? And it literally, like, from like one corner of my house, it flew all the way to like the balcony, which was open because my boyfriend left it open. And like it literally flew out. So that's like one of the weird spiritual things that like I'm really like just used to, like just like I can literally sit down and just like close my eyes and like feel the energy of the entire universe. And like I just feel like meditating and like doing things like that just really like heighten up that sense, and like are just like good for you. I feel like everybody can do it. There's like no magic to me, I don't think. It's just like a human thing. Like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that we are eternal souls. Well, anyways, this is what I believe. You don't have to believe it. Like if you believe in God, whatever, like I don't know if I believe in God. Maybe there's a source to like all of this, but I also believe that we're God, and it's just weird. Yeah, a lot of really trippy, controversial like shit that I like just, I think about. And like I'm constant, like if you've ever like done any kind of like psychedelic, like acid, like and you're like in this state of mind where you're like thinking so much, like that's how I think regularly. Like I think like I'm on acid like all the time. Like I'm such a spiritual person. Like so and I don't really have friends. I've like um battled with this. So I'm gonna get back to where what I was talking about earlier. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But I'm just gonna talk about like how I grew up. So basically, I was very spiritual. Like for a long time, I became a Reiki 1. If anybody doesn't know what Reiki is, it's like a Japanese healing technique. It originated, I think, in Egypt, and then it went to like, and then it like died down or something, and then like popped up again in Japan. So yeah, it's like kind of it's a healing fucking shit. It's a healing thing. Like it's, I forgot the fucking word that I was about to say. That's gonna happen a lot too because I suck at telling any kind of stories. So like I always get sidetracked and shit. But anyways, going back. So yeah, it's like a healing technique. Basically, I like get the healing energy of the universe, and I like imagine it come from the universe into like my feet and then out of my palms. And then how I heal is like with my palms, like I will give you energy, and yeah, So I've always been weird, like a different mindset. I've never been like I never fit in ever with anybody. Like middle school like was the worst. I actually used to self-harm, and I was suicidal for most of my teenage years. And I would self-harm when I was like 13 years old. So yeah, like I started self-harming really young, and I've always like had this like person in the back of my head basically like telling me that I'm not worthy enough. And so that kind of like led up to like a bunch of events in my life. So when I was in ninth grade, I got kicked out of high school, and then my mom thought that I was spiraling out of control, like she's just a concerned mom, whatever. And so she sent me to my dad's house to live there, actually. And like, yeah, it was really tough, actually. Like living with my dad was really, really tough. I didn't have a good time at all. My dad was like emotionally very abusive. He was also like physically abusive. Sorry, my video shut down. Don't know why that happened. But yeah, so he would like leave me bruises and stuff. But like it was not nearly as like harmful as like he had like a very like dictatorship way of like doing things. He just had a very big ego. And if you guys know anything about astrology, he was a Leo sun with a Scorpio moon. So like fuck. And I'll get into that also in my podcast because I'm super into astrology and all that stuff. But yeah, so like my dad was really abusive, and then like on top of that, I was living in an area that was like super foreign to me. I didn't get along with anybody. So I'm from Orange County. I've always been from Orange County. I like grew up in Orange County. Like this is my home. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to all the people in Orange County. They're like pretty friendly. Like if anything, they're fake as fuck, yes, but like they're friendly. They won't ever say shit to your face, you know? In Riverside is where I moved in with my dad. First, well, I was going to school in Riverside, but I lived in Corona. Super different environment. Like it was completely like I don't know, like almost like unevolved. Like I'm like dare to say. Sorry. Fuck. But yeah, like they were just super unevolved. Like very angry people all the time, like super angry. I remember getting followed home from school. I had to walk like 4 miles to my fucking school from my house, in like fucking 100 and whatever degree weather, and like I would wear tank tops and skirts, you know, it's fucking hot, and like literally I couldn't even wear that because like the fucking like some guy followed me home, and then like he followed me home, and then like I got scared as fuck, so I went to like the fucking park, like a local park, and I saw this man with like 2 kids, and I go up to him and I'm like, hey, like this guy over there, like he's following me, and I'm like really scared. And then this guy, mind you, he's like 40 fucking years old, right? And I go up to him, I'm like, I'm really scared. Like, first thing that you would do is, like, call the police, right? Like, the fucking, like, I don't know, as an adult, if you're seeing some, like, 15, 16-year-old girl being followed home, like, you would call the fucking police, right? But, like, he was just like, oh, like, don't worry about it. You could just say you're my girlfriend. Like, I'm like, you're a disgusting pig, like. And then, like, the guy noticed that I was, like, talking to, like, somebody about him, because, like, I pointed at the car, and I was like, he's following me. And then, as soon as he saw that, like, he left. And then, I was like, oh, okay, he left, so I'm just gonna go now. And then he was like, oh, yeah, like, don't be afraid to, like, come by and, like, give me a hug. And I'm like, ew, you're fucking gross, like, what the fuck, like, I really hate that, like, it's disgusting, and it's uncomfortable, and, like, I feel like women should be able to wear whatever the fuck they want to wear, whenever the fuck they want to. I mean, I think that the fucking idea of clothes are even stupid, but that just goes on, like, I'm an extremist, like, it's, yeah, I feel like people should just be confident in their own bodies, and, like, whatever. But anyways, yeah, and then so, like, my school life in Riverside, like, I would literally get bullied. Like, some group of girls, like, did not like me at all. And they would, like, bully me and, like, make, like, rumors, like, that I had chlamydia and shit. Like, go around, like, stupid fucking high school things, you know? And, like, mind you, I was going to a high school where it was, like, a brand new high school, so I was the first class, so it was, like, all fucking freshmen, like, there was no upper classes or anything, so it was, like, complete fucking bullshit, like, I hated it, and, yeah, like, they would just make rumors and, like, be fucking salty and sad because I'm fucking pretty, and, just kidding, but, no, like, really, I believe that they were just jealous, but, yeah, like, they would, like, pin me up against a wall in the bathroom and surround me, like, 15-20 girls, just, like, all up in my face, like, I want to fuck you up, blah, 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 so it was not a good experience at all, moving in with my dad was like the saddest times of my life. I was very depressed. I was very suicidal, and I self-harmed all the time. Like, I would eat lunch by myself in the library, like, and talk to like a boyfriend that I had like over the internet. Like, it was just really sad. Like, I was very lonely and sad. And but then I started listening to this man named Bashar. Like, I would have to go to my mom's house like every other weekend, because like that was like the plan or whatever of their like divorce shit. I don't fucking know. So I would go to my mom's house every other weekend, and like she would show me all these like videos, like spiritual things, and I would always have a blast like every other weekend at my mom's house, because she would let me use social media. My dad didn't let me have a phone, so I would use my mom's phone and like go on social media, blah blah blah. Hold on, let me get some water. My mouth is dry. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so yeah, my mom would let me go on social media like at her house, and then she started showing me these videos of this man named Derek Anka, and he would channel this being called Bashar, and supposedly this being was like a hybridized human, like in the future or whatever, and like he was super wise, or like, believe it or not, whatever. It helped me a lot because he told me a lot of like, he taught me like that you create your own fucking reality, and you are not a victim, and you can do whatever you want in this life. And it's absolutely true. Like, I sat down and I literally manifested me leaving my dad's house like before I turned 18, because like I was gonna leave when I was 18 anyways, but I was like, no, like I want to leave now. Like, I don't want to endure this pain anymore. So I stopped being a victim, and I started just, you know, like just acting. And so I'm 17 years old, and I'm finally able to leave my dad's house after like this big like fucking thing that we got into. Like, I called up my mom and I was like, dude, if you don't like take me out of this place, I'm going to leave, and like I don't care. Like, I will find like a friend that will let me like sleep with them, you know what I mean? So my mom was like, okay, just calm down, like this weekend I will take you and you'll never have to see your dad again. And it's been that way. I haven't seen or talked to my dad in like over 2 years already. It's pretty sad, actually. I've been on this whole journey of like self-love and like self-appreciation and being the healthiest 100% human that I want to be. And one of those things were like to be able to talk to my dad and like work things out. So like I tried to talk to him, but he never responded to me, which is fine. Totally. It like I did my part. Like, there's nothing I can do after that, you know? So yeah, I just like wanted to talk about being able to like get out of situations that you feel like are forever, but they're not. They're really not forever. And like being able to know that you create your own reality, and if you choose to be positive, like you will receive positivity, you know what I mean? And like it's just like being able to have a new viewpoint of the world, I guess. Being able to like be calm and not beat yourself up over stupid things, like. And so that leads me up. Oh, hold on, I'm fucking thirsty. So with that, I'm gonna talk about why I'm gonna do podcasts over makeup. I want to make people happy, like I said earlier, and I feel like I have the power to really like make people believe that they're beautiful without like the whole makeup. I feel like makeup is a mask that you put onto your regular face to make you feel better about yourself. And like it's not about that. Like if you want to like reach true happiness, um like don't get me wrong, makeup is amazing. I love it. Obviously, I'm wearing it right now. I just spent like 20 fucking minutes like meditating doing my makeup, like getting in my zone, you know? Like makeup calms me down, and it's a form of art and expressing yourself, and that's fine. But if you're using it like in a way where like you feel like you need to because you don't look good, like with your regular face, like that's stupid. Like I'm sorry, but I feel like you don't need makeup. Like you don't. Like we should be able to be like confident in our own skin. And a lot of people, like, I don't know, how I learned to be confident is just like really just talking to myself and like just telling myself that I am worth it and I don't care what anybody else says, you know? Um but yeah, just kind of being like I'm a stubborn Sagittarius with a Capricorn moon. My Mercury, Mars, and Venus are all in Capricorn as well, and my rising is in Sagittarius. So I'm very expressive. I love to not give a fuck about what anybody thinks about me. And yeah, I feel like that's helped me a lot. But I feel like everybody can achieve that. Like if you just talk to yourself, like I was very even nervous to just talk to anybody. Like I would literally start shaking, my heart would start pounding, like I had the worst social anxiety ever. And I just like would talk to myself and be like, dude, like you're worth it. Like you don't, and like the best thing is like being able to like give your own self like that boost of confidence that you need, because sometimes like you don't like have anybody to tell you that, and the reality is you don't need anybody to tell you that. You can be that own person for yourself. You can tell yourself that you love yourself and that you're worthy enough. And I feel like being spiritual really, really helped me out with that, and being alone most of my time, because when I was living with my dad, like I was locked up in my room all day, and I didn't talk to anybody when I went to school. Besides like a couple people that lived next to me, that like I would walk to school with and walk from school with. But yeah, like gross. I was always a very reassuring person. You're never a victim. I think wasting your time being sad over something that's not worth being sad about is just like self-destruction, and it's like not worth it, you know what I mean? Like I feel like nobody needs to be going through that. And I'm at an age where like I'm always, well, not really my age. I've always been like this, honestly. Like I've always like criticized myself. I always like look in the mirror some days and I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking fat. But like, you know, like there's no point in being that way to yourself, because like people are already rude enough. Like there's no reason for you to be rude to yourself. Like you should be your number one supporter, not like your number one fucking like downer, you know what I mean? And once you start getting this mentality, shit just starts to roll for you, you know? Like you just like get a bigger, brighter understanding, and then like you start realizing that when people hate on you, it's because they're hating on themselves, and like they like just don't know how to handle like them hating on, or yeah, them hating on themselves, like so they express it to other people. Like when people judge you, like they're always judging yourself. So I feel like once I learned that, like I just stopped taking what other people were saying to me so personally. And I was just like, dude, like I don't care what you say. Like when you have that, like I've always kind of been like a rebel. Like my mom loves to call me a fucking rebel. I've always been like kind of like a rebel. So like I don't care about anybody. Like, I don't care about what anybody fucking says. I don't care about, like, just, like, anything that anybody says to me or about me. Like, my mom would always tell me, like, what people say about you is not your business. And, like, it's true. Like, it's not my business. Like, they can talk all the shit they want. At the end of the day, I know who I am. And, like, I know the thoughts that go through my mind. I know the kind of person I am. And just, like, being able to not surround yourself with, like, negative people and, like, things like that, like, really help you. But yeah, let me look at my notes because I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. Yeah, so, yeah, just, like, knowing, who you are and, like, getting to know yourself. Like, you can talk to yourself, you can have conversations with yourself and, like, really, like, get to know who you are as a person. And, like, when you're having, I don't know, when you have, like, a big ego, I feel like you look for pleasure in things that are destructive and, like, make you feel bigger or whatever. And, like, people with ego tend to be, like, very judgmental, like, oh, you're doing this wrong, but I'm doing it right. Like, suck my dick. But, yeah, and, I also wanted to talk more about, like, astrology. I really, really want to get into that, in my podcast and shit, because I feel like astrology, like, a lot of people don't really know a lot. Like, it's not just, like, the 12 signs that everybody's fucking categorized in. Like, there's more to it. Like, how I said earlier with, like, my sun, moon, Mercury, Mars, like, all of the planets have a placement in, like, the stars, basically, when you're born. And, like, so your sun sign could be, like, any of the 12 signs. So, like, I'm a Sagittarius, and then, like, it goes on. Like, it goes from, like, Mercury, Venus, Mars, fucking Jupiter, Saturn, like, every single planet. And then it also goes in houses. So it's actually very, very specific. So a lot of people are like, it's, like, super specific, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're just not educated, so... Just kidding, but... Yeah, there's way, way more to, like, all of that. So I really want to get into that. Like, I want to do a full podcast talking about, like, astrology and stuff like that. I also really want to talk about, like, conspiracy theories and, like, being a more aware human, like, opening up your mind, and things like that. I would like to talk about, like, true crime shit, because I'm so obsessed with that. If anybody watches, like, Kendall Rae, like, ugh, she's amazing, dude. She's amazing. And yeah, I really want to talk about, like, the metaphysical things, like, all of those things. So I have a lot of big plans for this podcast. I always tend to do this. I always plan big and then, like, forget about the details. But I really want this to blow up, you know what I mean? I want this to be big. I want this to, like, truly, truly be something that people are interested in and would like to know more about. And yeah, just things like that. I really want to open people's minds up and, like, have them think differently, because a lot of people, like, I'm not saying that I fucking think, like, I'm, like, amazing, like, I'm an ascended master. Like, I believe everyone can be an ascended master. I don't know, but my family's very unique, and I feel like everybody is definitely put on this planet for a reason. Hello. I just burped. I believe everybody was put on this planet for a reason, and yeah, like, there's no reason that is minute. And I would love to talk about more, like, conspiracies, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, nothing is certain. Like, whether you believe in God or like science, nothing is certain. Like, we don't really know anything yet. And I'm just gonna talk about shit that I've personally felt in my life. Like, all of the weird energies I've felt, and like, how could I feel energy if like there's not something beyond this, and like all of the weird dreams I've had. I also want to really get into dreams and like their meanings and stuff. I also really want to like get this podcast rolling with some other people, just because I think it would be so much more fun, just like a back and forth conversation. I really want to get my boyfriend, Junior, on this, because I feel like he's very, very smart, has a lot of insight. He's a hard-working man. Like, he's, like, rich as fuck already. For, like, a 19-year-old man, he is a very successful one. And I feel like he has a lot of things to talk about and be able to, like, give out to the world. I also want to get my brothers on this because they are, like, for their age, dude, like, they're still in high school. Like, my middle brother, Mitchell, he's going to graduate this year, and he's, like, some fucking amazing guru. Like, he has so much insight, about everything that is just, like, crazy, dude. It's crazy. And then my little brother, also Marlon, he is so wise, and it's ridiculous. Like, my entire family is just so, like, on point with, like, intuition, feeling energies. We're all super empaths. For anybody who doesn't know what an empath is, it's a person who can feel your feelings. So, like, I could totally tell or feel, like, when, like, the energy around a person when they're, like, sad or, like, down or depressed, like, it's a weird toll, like, yeah, I'm, like, we have a very, like, weird psychic family, and a lot of people don't know that about me, because, like, nobody takes the time to get to know you as a person, but, it's okay, because I don't really care, and I'm happy with who I am, and I'm happy with the person that I became to be after all of these struggles that I've been through, and, I feel like I could really, really help people, and, like, even people that, like, known me from high school, like, I feel like I could even, like, possibly help them. And a lot of people have this, like, weird misconception about me, because, like, of the people that I used to hang out with in high school, like, all the people that I live around. I live in Irvine, California, so it's, like, super superficial people, everywhere. All they care about is, like, if you have money. They're all fake. If you're doing good, they'll hit you up. Like, if I post a picture of me in a nice Beamer, like, flashing money, like, they'll hit me up and be like, hey girl, like, it's so fake. It's ridiculous, but it's cool. Like, I don't care. It's fine. To each his own. Like, everybody likes their own things. Everybody wants to feel a certain way. But yeah, like, I don't see the need for any of that, like, fakeness. I'm a very real person. I'm a very down-to-earth person. Yeah, and I'm just, like, trying to do my own thing, trying to help people, along the way. So that's really what I have for this podcast. I'm really, really excited. I know this podcast was not a long one. It's just because it's, like, my first one, and I kind of, like, wanted to really... Dude, I've been, like... like, I've been writing notes down since Monday, and it's currently Friday. The 13th. I've had this horrible cough for, like, the longest time. That's not gonna be fun to listen to. I'm so fucking sorry. But, yeah. That totally threw me off. I'm so sorry you had to listen to that. But yeah, I just feel like I can help people, and, like, I really want to use my time wisely and be able to, like, be successful once I'm older, and, like, be happy and comfortable. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, like money, and, like, society and fakeness and realness and like just a bunch of fucking mumbo jumbo. Like, we're gonna get into it, and so I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited for this podcast. I think it's gonna be really good for a lot of people, including myself. And even if like just one person like watches or hears this entire thing, like, I'll be so fucking happy. Like, you have no idea. So yeah, you guys, that's it for this podcast. Kind of just want to give like a general overview of my thoughts, and for you guys to like get to know me a little bit, because a lot of you guys do not know me and like to judge me. But it's okay. I welcome your judgment, bitch. I'm joking, but yeah. So that concludes that. I'm so happy. We are 36 minutes in. Thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you for tuning in and being cool as hell. I'm really excited for this, and I cannot wait for the future of this company, because I just have this incredible feeling that it's going to boom, and it's gonna change my world. So I'm really excited, and I'm really, really happy to be filming this, yeah, and recording, because it's a podcast. So we're gonna get into it, you know what I'm saying? So that concludes that, and we are out, y'all. Thank you so much for watching.